Today is day 37. It's a good day. Day 37 is always my favorite. So, let's see. Okay, the last one was day 24, so days 25 through 37. Okay, so after day 24, we had like a few more days in Osaka, so like 4 more. One of those days, around midday, I took just a 20-minute nap. And in that 20-minute nap, I had a dream. And I'm pretty sure in that dream, I answered all of the pressing questions in my life, figured out like the meaning of life in the universe, and then promptly forgot it all when I woke up. But it felt really good. Like I just woke up feeling like, yes, I've got this. I just don't know what this is. So that was interesting. I've started taking 20-minute naps midday since. And people who have siestas, they know what they're doing. An excellent idea. That afternoon, still in Osaka, we went to Shinsaibashi and Dotonbori. So Shinsaibashi, that area, well, there's a really long street, Shinsaibashi Street, and it's huge. It's a covered street, so sometimes it actually goes sort of like in between buildings, but there's like a covered area, and there's like shops on either side, and it's really, 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 really long. So you could just walk forever. Actually, forever. Like they managed to create an infinite street, but it's only in Osaka. It's very interesting. So it's Shinsaibashi, and we ended up in Dotonbori, which is along the river in Osaka, and it's got all sorts of crazy flashy lights at night. We had dinner there at a place called Chibo. Chibo is an okonomiyaki place. I love okonomiyaki, it's so good. And we got to sit right at the bar, and on the other side of the bar is the big skittle where they cook, or griddle, not skittle, skillet, griddle, where they cook all the food right there. It was the best okonomiyaki I ever had. And then there was this other thing, tompai, or tompai. So they mix up some eggs and pour it onto the stove, so it starts cooking a little bit, and they toss some pork that they had fried on it, and they start rolling up the pork in the egg, and it's Japanese food. It's the best. So that happened. Let's see, there was another day after that, probably. We went to Shinsenkai, which is below Dotonbori, to the east of Namba. And it has a reputation as sort of like a shady area, but it's not really. Well, it is a bit run down. So way back, turn of the century, so like 1918, that was the hoppin' place, like this little area of Shinsenkai. They made the top half, like they modeled it after Paris, street structure-wise, and the bottom half of Coney Island. And they put a big tower in the center, and it was the tallest tower in Asia at the time. And it was like, yeah, Shinsenkai, this is the happening place. It all gets destroyed in World War II. And it gets rebuilt, but like it never goes back to its full like hopping in downtown vibe. It's still like an interesting place. Like you can go there. Like there are all sorts of interesting side streets, and it's fun. Stuff is really, really cheap there. We had takoyaki there, and due to it, so a long time ago in one of the videos I mentioned that we had like this doughy thing that had weird stuff inside that I didn't actually like, and someone told me that was takoyaki, and I was like, I guess I don't like takoyaki. It was not takoyaki, because we had takoyaki this day in Shinsenkai, and it's a little batter around bits of octopus that's fried. It's so good. Takoyaki is incredible. It's awesome. They're like little balls, like size of the inside of a small fist. Incredible stuff. Love it. Then we walked around and we found an actual supermarket that people use, not a convenience store. Crazy, I know. You get ice cream cheaper at the supermarket, so it's fun. And other stuff happened in Osaka, probably right around like the last 2-3 days in Osaka. Like whenever we'd go into the city, I'd be like, okay, yes, I'm actually remembering like the metro places, because like whenever we get to Osaka Station is huge, crazy big, and we'd never be able to find the Midosuji subway line. by the end, we could find the Midosuji subway line. It was straight there. It's like, yes, I know this place kind of a little bit. Okay, not really, but I know it more than I did. And then, whichever day number was August 20th. That's when we leave to Tokyo. So we got this really cool ticket, Seishun 18, and it's got 5 spots for stamps on. Actually, it's right. Don't go away. Here. So this ticket, you see, it's got like 5 red dots on it. So once you get a red dot on it, that can be used for one person per one day, any JR lines they want. So in Japan, there's JR rails, which are the trains between everywhere, sometimes in the city as well. There's the city metro, it's just for the city, and then there's the Shinkansen or bullet train lines. So this lets us take. So Chun, who's Kaz's son, he went to Tokyo before we did. When he came, he got a bus there, and when he came back, he got this and used up 1 slot. And then we paid him for our part of the ticket. When Michael and I went to Tokyo, we used these two, and then when we came back, we used those 2. And it was all day traveling. Like, if you took a bullet train, it would be like 3 hours to Tokyo. It was about like 14 taking JR and getting lost, which is fun. So Chun had printed out a list, like, okay, you're going to transfer at this station, and that station, and that station, and that station. And when we look at like the screen that would show when the trains are coming, it would say on the so-and-so line towards Ogaki. And we'd be like, wait a second, Ogaki's not on the list. And I expected like all the city names that we would be switching at to be where it was bound for, but it wasn't. It would be bound past that. We'd just be switching somewhere. So that was interesting to navigate. But that was a full day on the trains. And when we were getting close into Tokyo, that's when we started actually getting lost. Got on one subway. We were trying to get to Ikebukuro Station, which was just 1 away from where we needed to end up. And when we were waiting in line, this guy turned around and he said, hey, are you from Wales? Which actually makes more sense than it seems, because I have, on one of my shirts, I've stitched a little Welsh flag right here. And I said, oh, no, from the States. Where are you from? He's from Spain. He's been living and working in Japan for the past 2 years. His name's Alfonso. And so we both get on the train, we're talking, swapping stories, it's tons of fun. He's a really interesting guy. He's working as a mechanical engineer in Japan now. And eventually I realized, oh, we're going the wrong way. But then he's got time, so he hops off the train with us, helps us figure out where we need to go. We get there, yay, go Alfonso. If you ever find this, thanks, buddy. Thanks. So we end up at Hibarigaoka Station, and we give the Foxwells a call. The Foxwells, that's the family we're staying with back in Pittsburgh. Tyler and Megan from church. Tyler's parents are Anda and Phil Foxwell. Lovely, lovely, lovely people. Phil picked us up from the station. He dropped us at the missions house, which Janet runs, and that place is absolutely lovely. It's so cool. It's rather big. That was impressive. Paul was still there. He had been with the film crew there, and he was leaving early the next morning. So we talked to him about just like being a producer for short films, long films, tiny films, middle films. And we didn't get to meet Anda yet. That would be a few days after. Anda and Phil are both really busy this school year. Oh, that's the trash. They have interesting noises. I'm going to have to talk a little bit louder. So they were both really busy. They both had come back in from the States just the day before. They had been visiting, I think they'd been visiting Tyler and Megan. And also, Anda's a principal, so school had just started, tons of work, so we weren't able to meet with them immediately. So we got in late at night, go to sleep. Next day, first day in Tokyo, we just explore around Hibarigaoka. So Hibarigaoka is about 50 minutes outside of the very center of Tokyo. But Tokyo is huge. It's crazy. Like a few times, we said to Kat, one of Kaz's friends, and we said to Alfonso, like, oh yeah, we're we're in Tokyo now, or we're gonna be staying in Tokyo. And they said, yeah, you can be in a lot of places and still be able to say we're in Tokyo. We are in Tokyo. It's just huge, huge, huge. So we just went around Hibaragaoka. That was one of the 50 minutes out places. The next day, we went into Otemachi. No, we only transferred to Otemachi. But we got to where the Sky Tree is, the tallest tower in Tokyo. In the Chibon Institute of Technology, they had this giant art piece of a replica of a big Gundam robot fighter pilot thingy. Really cool. They had other tech stuff there. There was a giant wall interactive video game thing. So you stood in front of basically like what would be like a really, really, really good high-tech Xbox Kinect. And it would make like a cube shadow figure of you, and you'd have to dodge random stuff that was at you, so jumping and ducking. And we saw the Sky Tree and did not go up because that's about $24. And we had plans to find other superior views, or at least superior for like price divided by height. Oh no, 0 divided by. Yeah, but we might have gotten just 0. Anyways, after that, we tried to get to this other area that Michael wanted to go to. It was like this sort of fashion district. See what all the people were dressed like. But we ended up equidistant. So after we left the Sky Tree, we ended up equidistant from it afterwards, but on the other side. So we actually ended up near Tokyo Tower. So we just explored around.